let's start with today's question number 805, split array with same average. So in this we are given an integer array A and we must move every element of A either to the list B or to the list C, and B and C are initially start empty. So what we have to do is just to return true if and only if after such a movement it is possible that the average value of B is equals to the average value of C and B and C are not empty. So in the first example it is returning true because we are getting B array as 1, 4, 5 and 8 and the second array as 2, 3, 6, 7 and its average value comes out to be 4.5 for both. So we can divide the given array in two arrays such that its average are equal. So in this condition we are returning true for this. Now let's have a look over the approach for the question. Now as we are given if with this array 5, 4, 9, 6 to 5, 6 to 10. So we have to split it into two arrays, let's say A and C, and let's say its size be B and D, B for array A and D for array C. Now the given array, the total sum for the given array is 36. 5 plus 4 plus 9 plus 6 plus 2 plus 10 is equal to 36 and the total number of elements as 6. Now if we will see the algebra for the conditions as the summation of A, that is the elements, the sum of all the elements in the A and all the elements in C will be equals to the given summation of all the values in the array. And the second equation that we can make is the size of array A and the size of array C would be equals to the total given size of given array N. Now the summation of the required condition in the equation is that the average for both the arrays should be equal. So the summation of elements in A divided by the number of elements in A should be equals to the summation of elements in the C divided by number of elements in the C, which would be equals to, from the first equation we can derive summation of C value as sum minus summation of A. So we will replace the value of summation of C with this and D with N minus B from the second equation. Now if we will solve this condition, then at the end we are going to get this condition as summation of A equals B into sum divided by N. As we are familiar with the fact that all the elements in A are integers, so this will also return the integer value itself, which satisfy this condition as the summation of A is an integer, this is also an integer, so B into sum percentage N, that is modulo N, would always be equal to 0 as this is an integer, and if not then there are no possible solution for it. Now let's have a look over the DP table for this question. As the input array is this, now for dividing into two halves, let's say we have element 0 in the first A in the array A, which is not satisfying the conditions given in the question. Then let's say A has element 1, then for A as element has 2 and A as element 3. Now as we are dividing the given array into A and C. So let's say the array A is having element 1. Then if we are iterating over the array, then there can be condition if the array has only element as 5, then the summation of all the elements in array A is 5. Now iterating over the second element, then there can be a condition that the value of element in array A is 4, and as it is having only a single element, that is 1, so the summation would be 1. But what if it is having 2 elements? Then the 2 possible elements are 5 and 4, so its summation would be 9. Now iterating to the next element, 9, the 2 possible values are 5 and 9 or 4 and 9. So its summation would be 14 and 13. In the case if we are having 2 elements in the array A, and if only a single element, then its value would be 9. What if we are having 3 elements in the array A? So in that condition we will sum all the elements, that is 5 plus 4 plus 9, that is 18. Now the next element is 6. The similar case with if we are having only a single element in the array A, then the only possible sum is 6. Now for 2 elements, 6 and 5, there is 11. 6 and 4, 10. And 6 and 9, 15. Now for 3 elements, we have 5 plus 4 plus 6, that is 15. 4 and 9 and 6, that is 19. And 6, 9 and 5, that is 20. Now what if we have jump to the next element? So for a single element only 2 is possible. For 2 elements, 5 and 2 pair are possible, 4 and 2 pair are possible, 9 and 2 pair are possible, and 6 and 2 pair are possible. So for this, 7, 6, 11, 8. Now for 3 pairs, for 3 elements, 5, 4 and 2, there are 11, 5, 9 and 2, 16, and similarly we are going to check it for 10 for the last element as well. Now this will go up to here. Now at the end what we have to do is to check if the sum of the elements in the A which we are storing in this DP table is equals to B into sum divided by n. That is, in the first condition, if we will see here, then the number of elements in the formed array is 1. So 1 into sum, which is 36. divide by n, which is also 6. So here the sum comes out to be 6 in this condition, and as it is present in the DP table for the index I equals 1, so we just have to return true in this condition. Now let's have a look if it is possible or not. If we'll split it as 6 and other array as 5, 4, 9, 2 and 10. So the sum comes out to be 9 plus 18, 20, 30, 30, and number of elements as 5, which is equals to 6. That is, if we'll split the array as 6 and other 5 elements in the second array, then the average comes out to be 6 for both, and the condition is satisfied. So we just have to return true. Let's have a look over the code for the question.
Okay, so now let's start with the code for this question. So as you can see, I have these two variables n and m. N is storing the size of the given input vector and m is equal to n by 2. Now int sum equal to accumulate a dot begin comma a dot end comma 0. Now what this function is doing is that it's calculating the sum of all the elements in vector a. Now we'll be checking if it's even possible to split the given array into two arrays of equal averages. So if it's not possible, we can simply return false. Now for this condition is possible. As we have discussed in the explanation, it's possible to split up the given array only if it satisfies the condition sum into I modulo n is equal to 0. So we'll be iterating from 1 to m and checking for each I whether it's possible to split it up or not. And if it's not possible, at the end of this function, it will be returning false value. If it's not possible to split the array, we won't move on further and simply return false from here. Now moving on further, we have initialized a vector of unordered sets of integers here and named it sums, and the size of this vector is m plus 1. Now we are inserting the value 0 at sum set index 0. After that, we are iterating over the given input vector. So we are using an enhanced for loop for that purpose for int num in a. Now we have a nested for loop here iterating from m to 0. Again we have another nested for loop that would be iterating over the unordered set at sums at index I minus 1, because the value at particular index will naturally be dependent on the value at previous index of the given vector's unordered set. So we are using an enhanced for loop for this purpose here, and we'll be inserting the value t plus num at sums at index I. Now this t is coming from index I minus 1, so it's a bottom up approach as you can see here. And after we are done filling our vector with all the pre-initialization conditions, we can start checking on for the conditions whether it's even possible or not to split up the given array. So we'll be iterating from over 1 to m again, and if sum into I modulo n is equal to 0, that's our base condition as we have already discussed it, and sum set I dot find sums into I by n. Now again sums into I by n is our condition, and if we are able to find this in the given sums vector and its value is not equal to the sums I dot end, then only we can return true, else we'll return false towards the end of this function. Now we'll try to run this code. Okay, it works. Now we'll try to sum it up. Perfect, it works as expected. Thank you for watching.